What's going on, everybody? It's John Eric Poli here to give you guys an update on the ATP rankings now that Indian Wells and Miami is all wrapped up, and most importantly, as we head to 3 straight ATP 1000 events on clay. So, with that being said, guys, let's get started by looking at your top 10. And here's how I'm going to format this. We're going to do the top 10, a few other big names, then look at the race towards the ATP finals. Let's get started with that top 10. No change at the top in Jannik Sinner, your world number one. Suspended, but still the world number one, guys. He did lose 1,000 points, though, for not participating in Miami because he was the 2024 champion there. Alexander Zverev in at number 2. He's going to have to play better on the clay courts, which I think a lot of people, myself included, expect him to do. But Zverev, momentum not on his side, has to play a little bit better. Carlos Alcaraz, he's less than 1,000 points from number 2. Big race for those spots there with this clay court season. Taylor Fritz picked up 390 points at Miami. He's in at number 4. Kind of interesting to see what he's going to be doing on the clay courts this year with the success that he's been having as of late. Novak Djokovic in at number 5. He was a finalist at Miami and looking a lot better. Let's see if Djokovic can do anything on the clay courts. Speaking of clay courts, number 6 is Casper Ruud, the clay court specialist. This could be a big season for Ruud. In at number 6 right now with his best surface coming up, he could definitely grow in these rankings. Jack Draper is going to be in at number 7, your Indian Wells champion. Draper's having a very good 2025 after that late 2024 success. No surprise with that win in Indian Wells getting him into that 7th spot. Stefanos Tsitsipas in at number 8, playing a lot better. And guys, remember, he is your 2024 Monte Carlo champion. So this is a big tournament for him coming up here. Let's see if Tsitsipas can seize the moment, have a big clay court season, and continue to rise these rankings like he's been doing so far this year. Andrey Rublev, he also had success on the clay courts last year. He was the Madrid champion last year. He's in at number 9, same thing. Can he grow in this clay court season? We've seen him win tournaments on clay before. Let's see what Rublev does with this opportunity. And rounding out your top 10 is Alex de Minaur, who's been so consistent here this year, guys, in 2025. A guy that I think a little underrated. People aren't giving Alex de Minaur enough credit this year. So that's your top 10 in the rankings. Now, guys, really quickly, let's shift gears. Let's look at some of the bigger names just outside of that top 10. We're going to get started with Daniil Medvedev. Medvedev, guys, struggling a little bit here in 2025. He actually lost 3 spots in the rankings. He's down all the way to number 11. Holger Rune, who played well at Indian Wells, he was the runner-up there. He's at number 12 in these rankings. Lorenzo Musetti, number 16. The reason why I'm talking about him, he was the bronze medalist at the Olympic Games. He can definitely pick up some spots here on the clay courts, and he was also played well at Wimbledon last year too. Don't forget that, guy. So this is a big few months here coming up for him. Jakub Mensik, who just won Miami. That win at Miami, guys, moved him up 30 spots. Yeah, you heard that right. 30 spots. He's now up to number 24 in the world. And Matteo Berrettini, guys, he had a very good showing at Miami, and he's starting to slowly climb back up these rankings, guys. He's up 3 more spots now in at number 27. So that's your rankings as of right now. But the big one now that I want to talk about, guys, your race towards the ATP finals at the end of the year, where obviously the top 8 players advance. Obviously, there's a few things there with major tournaments. We're not going to get into the whole rules there. But anyway, guys, let's look at the top 8, the way it stands right now here. Obviously, Jannik Sinner still in at number 1 with that Australian Open Championship there. Even though he's been suspended, guys, but that suspension, it is slowly dwindling there. This is his last month of it. So Sinner still in at number 1. Zverev still in at number 2. But like I said before, guys, everybody's very close to Alexander Zverev. If he doesn't have a good clay court season, he could drop drastically. Jack Draper, your Indian Wells champion, he's in at number 3. Novak Djokovic with that Australian Open semifinal, that Miami final showing, that gets him all the way up to number 4 in these rankings. Alcaraz in at number 5, but within 300 points of number 2. Like I said, everybody's close together. Alcaraz could definitely jump very high in these rankings with a good clay court season. Jakub Mensik, who won at Miami, that very good showing there. That win got him up to number 6. Felix Auger Aliassime, number 7. I was a little surprised when I saw that there. And guys, remember, he was the Madrid runner-up last year, so clay season could be a big one for him as well. And Ben Shelton in at number 8, but there are a lot of guys on his heels. Like I said, guys, with all those guys on Shelton's heels, makes things a little interesting towards that. A few other big names to keep an eye out there. Alex de Minaur is just outside the top 10 there, or outside the top 8 there. So is Taylor Fritz, Holger Rune, Tommy Paul. So, guys, a lot of moving parts yet in these ATP final rankings here. So, a lot of tennis left to be had this year. That's the main thing here. Guys, do me a favor. Make sure to like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll have continued coverage of the ATP tennis season, including tomorrow, where I'll have the entry list for this year's Monte Carlo Championships.